media in peaceful elections. Apostle Doctor, what a pleasure to see you again. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's always nice to have you. And today, of course, we have an important conversation before us. So maybe we'll start by scoping out the issue.
Mm-hmm.
What exactly is the Peace Council expecting from media houses, not just journalists, but even owners of media houses, in this bid to reduce election-related violence?
Yeah, the role of the media is absolutely essential in the structure of our peace. In building peace structure of our country, the media is absolutely important. Mm-hmm. And therefore, we expect that the media will cooperate with the Electoral Commission, the Constitution of the Nation, and the Peace Council, so that we will be able to bring peace to the country. We expect that all the reports that the media would make will be the right one, that the media will not toe any political party's line, and that the media would be extremely objective, so that people will be convinced and say that, yes, what is being reported is the right one. And especially we expect that the media house owners would also not toe special parties' line. We are not comfortable with some media house owners who, in a way, demonstrate that they are particularly for a party. We are not comfortable with such issues.
That's interesting. I don't know if you'd mind exploring that a little bit further with us, why the Peace Council doesn't quite like the idea of a media house that openly declares support for one party or the other, because we do have a few of them.
Yeah. If even you happen to do that, we expect that you'll be very objective and say what is right. But sometimes we don't see this on air. Some of the things that come are very disturbing, and they are bridges to violence.
Right.
And that becomes our concern.
Yeah. Bridges to violence. That's important. Okay. So let's talk about one of the threats to peace, and that's vigilantism. Okay, let's talk about the eradication of it, because it's a target that the Peace Council has. What is expected of media houses and journalists in that regard?
Last year, Ghana was able to enact a law that bans vigilantism, and that is Act 999. But just enacting a law doesn't stop it, and therefore the Peace Council has to facilitate a peaceful disbandment between the two main parties. But unfortunately, during the last registration, we saw a spot of violence. And sometimes these things come out because of vigilantes. So we expect that the FMs or the media will be able to come out clearly when they see things of that nature and shame them. And once the media is able to report such things correctly, and we expect that the journalists will do their work with professionalism, to the point that issues that will come out are issues that are very clear and convincing. Once the media houses are able to do this, they will reduce tension, because people become comfortable and say that, yeah, this is right journalism. They have been able to come out clearly with issues that are going on. And when people are convinced and become satisfied, violence toned down.
Yeah. Now, of course, here at Joy, we have the Joy Peace campaign. We're very serious about promoting peace during this election. But generally, across the media landscape, how supportive has the media been in building sustainable peace in Ghana?
Yeah, I think when we are talking of peace, our media houses have done very well. Some of them have done very well. Because they speak about issues that come out. Some of them are very bold to confront issues, even in dealing with the government or the opposition. They have come out clearly, doing undercover reporting and things of that nature. So I think the media, generally, they have been very supportive, and I think they have contributed to the peaceful nature of our Fourth Republic when it comes to election issues. We see how some media personnel suffer and do extra work beside what they have been doing.
Yeah.
So I think we congratulate the media for such a great job. Yes, they are
Okay.
doing very well. Yes.
Sticking with the media and the roles they have to play, another thing that the Peace Council concerns itself with is conflict resolution. Suppose in some way what's happening at the moment with the NDC and the NPP regarding vigilantism, that would in some way fall under conflict resolution. But does the media have a role to play in that, especially at the national level?
Yeah, absolutely so. I think the media has a very important role to play in conflict resolution. Now, once the media reports the wrong thing, it becomes extremely difficult to deal with the issue. And once you report it and people get it, it's difficult to go back to collect what you've said already. So I think when it comes to conflict resolution, the media should take time and not rush to report issues. Sometimes that is the mistake of some journalists. They quickly go for the news without real investigation, and then come out with issues that bring conflict or worsen the situation. So here we will appeal to media houses that when it comes to such things, they should take time, investigate, and once they are very convinced and know the truth, then they should come out with the truth. So I think the media's role is absolutely essential here, and I would recommend that they take time to investigate issues before bringing it. And that is one area that many people do not understand Peace Council. Sometimes they expect Peace Council to come out and condemn issues, which is wrong. In conflict resolution, you don't come out easily. Sometimes you go behind the scene and speak to the person, cool the tempers down, and even allow the person himself or herself to come out and declare something. Once you do that, you are able to bring peace. But let's say, once you come out and quickly condemn, and the issue is not dealt with, and the issue continues, what is the importance of the condemnation? After all, what you want is peace. So if you are able to go behind, deal with the issue, settle the issue before you come out publicly, then the issue is solved. And even sometimes after dealing with it, you don't need to come out, because what you want is peace. You just don't want people to think that you are working, but you want to have results. So once you have the results, then you thank God for the results.
Now, there are other organizations involved in, the sort of conflict resolution and peace and so forth. Apart from the National Peace Council, we see strong involvement of, the Christian Council and, Catholic Bishops' Conference, Presbyterian. So all of these groups, we see them, speak up for peace. But there are sometimes criticisms that there are things that happen today that we don't hear. Peace Council, for example, speaking up about, but in the past, under other governments, we would have heard from the Peace Council. You hear some of these criticisms. How do they make you feel? What do you think about these criticisms? Yeah,
sometimes people do not go into the deep. Yes, as I told you, that Peace Council does not often come out. You see, our role is to facilitate. So, in the process of facilitating, if you come out quickly and declare something, then you stir the waters. And once you stir the waters, your word is no longer taken by both parties. And as I said, that is the other issue of Peace Council's work that many people do not understand. We only come out when we see that it is extremely important to come out. Otherwise, we wouldn't. Because as a mediator, you should not allow the dust to touch you too much. But if you come out publicly and criticize somebody and condemn the person, and you approach the person that I want to come and mediate, you'll be thrown away. And as I said, that is the road that many people don't understand. But in the past that you are even talking about, Peace Council was still not coming out. People were still condemning us. Why are you not coming out? We come out occasionally, and when you come out, it works. Once you often come out frequently, when you say something, your word is not taken.
It's diluted.
Yeah, it's diluted. Yes.
All right. Now, let's go back to that issue of impartiality that you mentioned earlier. It's important to me. I'm very interested in how we can do better in that space. So, over the years, how would you assess the media's attempt to be impartial and objective when it comes to issues of politics. You've already mentioned that you don't, Peace Council is not comfortable with media houses that sort of demonstrate a bias. But how would you say that the generality of the media have done in this regard? Yeah,
generally I would say that the media houses have done very well. Yeah, and I can say that they are part of the resource of the peace that the country is enjoying in our fourth republic. Yeah, generally I can say that. But there are some of them that are not doing very well. Some rush to bring news out, and I don't want to name FMs or the media houses and the TVs that have been doing that. So we would say that generally the media houses are doing well, but others have to tone the line of other parties, or they fail to do diligent work in some of the issues that they bring out. But I think if the media houses will take time and do the right thing, then they are absolutely part of the success that the country has registered in our fourth republic. And therefore, we look forward to their work, especially during this the coming election, that they will be very, very impartial, report issues as they are, and once they do that, there will be peace in our election.
In fact, speaking of that, how do you think these elections are going to go? What's your prediction of how things will unfold on the 7th of December? In terms of peace.
I realize that whenever there is an incoming election, Ghanaians become agitated, and people become very worried, and don't know what will happen. But as a country, we should once we try to follow our constitution, and once we respect one another, violence shouldn't be the language, and you should not be too much agitated. So I'm expecting that the government would continue to do its part in building peace and assuring the people that the government, as the ruling government, will see to it that peace continues as we have, and the opposition also will continue to assure us that they are also going to follow the contents of our constitution, and that they are not going to do anything outside what has been laid down. And I think that I'm trusting that with the various peace structures that we have, and the peace builders, the Peace Council, the Christian Council, the Muslim Association, and the Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, NAC, and all the other people will come together so that we would assure our people of peace. We are those people who have to bring peace. And I think Ghanaians like peace, and they are not going to go overboard. So I expect a very successful election this year. Amen.
Apostle Dr. Opoku Onyinah, we're so grateful that you made the time to be with us today, and we certainly appreciate your insights on this matter. No doubt the media has taken note of everything, and we'll play our part to make sure that we have a peaceful election this year as well.
Thank you very much. All right. We are grateful.
Okay, it's 9:32, and we've got more to come on the Super Morning Show. I don't want you to go anywhere. I don't want you to miss what's coming up. But first, DJ Obete.